Motocross World Championships, also known as the MXGPs, are decided on 18 different racetracks in 15 countries.
Jorge Prado is going to win the race. The Spaniard wins for the 14th time.
In the MX2 class, where riders compete on smaller 250cc machines, 18-year-old Jorge Prado returns to defend his championship from last year.
Vialle is taking this Red Bull opportunity with both hands.
Entering the World Championships in 2019, rookie Tom Vialle has uprooted his family out of France in hopes of realizing his dream.
Jeffrey Herlings is the 2018 Motocross World Champion.
In the premier MXGP class, where riders compete on 450cc machines, Jeffrey Herlings is the reigning world champion and widely regarded as the fastest rider in the world. 33-year-old Antonio Cairoli enters the 2019 season with 9 world championships, just one shy of the all-time record. These are true stories of men and women who've made their homes on the road, families in the paddock, and identities in the dirt. Welcome to the world of motocross.
It's awesome, to have won, my championship in front of my home crowd. Thank you! Woo!
In 2018, Jeffrey Herlings delivered the most dominant season ever by a racer in the Motocross World Championships, winning a record 17 out of 20 Grand Prix. His first championship in the Premier class was also a first for the nation of Holland. And while Grand Prix were held in 16 different countries, Jeffrey had the fortune of clinching the title in front of his home fans.
Jeffrey was known in Holland as a top sport athlete and as a world champion, but since that day, he has become a sports superstar.
When you can reach the highest in our sport, in our small little world, what we work for every day, then the emotions are coming, and we missed a couple championships through injuries. I think for Jeffrey it was just a release, like, it happened, it's good, I'm champion.
It was like the most beautiful, perfect day in my life. Wish you were there right now. We're 6 months further right now, and now I'm sitting here with a shattered foot.
Op 19 april, vanaf dat moment is het ook zo dat er wordt weer een nieuwe foto gemaakt, een scan. En dan zou er dus bepaald kunnen worden of je meer zou mogen gaan doen. Of het bot daar klaar voor is. Dat is eigenlijk...
Maar wat zie je onder meer doen?
Dan zou dus bepaald worden of je dus op de motor zou mogen. Ja, dan zou je weer ervan uit kunnen gaan dat het die krachten gewoon moet op kunnen vangen, ja. Het bot.
Ja.
Alleen er is meer nodig dan een sterk bot om te kunnen crossen. Ja.
A few weeks before the start of the 2019 season in Argentina, Jeffrey crashed into a wall while training in Spain. Emergency reconstructive surgery was needed to repair his foot, and it is unknown how long it will take Jeffrey to recover.
I'm spending here hours and hours every day. It's crazy that just a small bone in your foot can just mess up a full season. That bone will never be as it was, and it will never be 100% again. Can it be pain-free? Yeah, but it will just take a lot of time, and maybe up to 6 months, 9 months, maybe a year, the doctor said.
While Jeffrey has traditionally built his confidence for racing through hours of daily practice at high speeds, this method has had a huge cost, leaving him with debilitating injuries almost every year.
Oh, Jeffrey Herlings goes down! How many crashes is this guy going to have this year?
The leadership at the Red Bull KTM factory race team has now been left with the question of how they can maintain his performance in ways that don't put him at risk.
All the champions, they work a lot, but how much work he puts in for the sport, there is no other who does the same. We all know it's a little bit too much. Together with Joel Smets now, we try to talk to him a lot. If you want to ride 5 times a week, maybe 4 times a week would be enough, and still he could win, but he would have one day less risk. That's where I see that Jeffrey still needs to control himself a little bit better.
It's clear that Jeffrey is extremely disappointed because he really was on the top of his game last year. This will always be, for the rest of his life, a missed chance. You can say like, okay, next year I have another chance. That's true, but this year's chance is never coming back.
Iets bollere Herling.
Ja, maar wat zei jij op tv? Het was een beetje vakantie. Ja, noodgedwongen, zei je vervolgens. Ik had het liever niet gehad. Maar ik heb wel even de tijd genomen om wat extra te eten. Ja. Je moet niet altijd zeggen wat je denkt op tv.
Ja, maar ja, dat kon ik niet ontkennen met zo'n kop, of wel dan? Dat ik meer heb gegeten dan normaal. Jules de Korte, die is blind, die zag dat nog. Ja.
Ja, die kon het voelen zo, hè? Dus dit Herlings, nee, dat kan niet. Die is te dik.
When we are ready with Wilfred, then I see how much time is left and how fit he is, and then ça donne quoi le circuit?
Ça va, il est bien.
Bon, hein? Déjà, mais pas encore trop, mais ça va venir avec les pilotes là. So this Wilfred is exactly how he rode in Red Sand, eh? Yeah. And we have the fork on the first line, and we have 1 lap of preload. Yeah.
With Jeffrey injured, Dirk Grubel and Joel Smets of the Red Bull KTM factory race team had only one rider in Northern Europe to focus on going into the 2019 season. An empty slot in the MX2 class, where riders compete on 250cc machines, led them to take a chance on a relatively unknown 18-year-old from southern France named Tom Vialle.
Tom, he's a very shy kid. When we approached him first and first talk, I mean, his English was not that great. Very shy. He's not a guy of big words. But when we had the sighting for the riding, for me, you could see the fire. That guy knew, this is my chance. I need to use it, or I don't know if that will ever appear again in my life. And he used it. My plan was to get him into top 10 in the first third of the season for this year. But he surprised the whole industry. Yeah, he's up front.
After finishing 7th overall at the season opener in Argentina, Vialle matched Jeffrey Herlings' record in reaching the podium in just his second Grand Prix at Matterley Base in England.
Tom Vialle, to climb that stairs and get his first big trophy, it was special. I mean, the whole team was touched and emotional and just so happy. And see his family, they leave home, they move to Belgium, they go the whole 9 yards. Everything.
Jorge Prado, Tom's Red Bull KTM teammate and competitor in the MX2 class, is satisfying all hopes placed in him by the team. Last year, Prado became just the second rider in history to clinch an MX2 championship at 17 years old. Prado's excellence at such a young age has opened many doors, including a lucrative opportunity to pursue a career in the MotoGP series.
I did a couple of tests with the road bike. They offered me directly to go to a very good team. But there was something in me that was telling me to don't go that way because I was not enjoying as much as I do in motocross. If you think about the money, you could earn more in road racing, but money is not what matters. I like motocross, just the dirt, jumps, adrenaline, the start with 40 riders next to you. I enjoy it so much, I don't know. It's just in me, I just like it.
It was funny because my mother also, and my father, he really likes MotoGP. And my mother told me at that time that she couldn't understand why you're gonna race and break bones for nothing. If he break bones, take money, no?
I had a year with him when he was only driving 85. Motocross was his life, was everything he wanted to do. He knows he needs to rest, he knows he needs to train hard, but hard is really hard. He trains like every day, like as if there is nothing else in his life. He has got everything that you need to have to become world champion.
While Prado has enjoyed an amazing start to his professional career, he should expect things to get more difficult, as a title in the 2019 season will send him up to the premier MXGP class, where he will face the best riders in the world. Chief among them is his training partner, 9-time world champion Antonio Cairoli, competing with 15 years of experience and 1 championship shy of the all-time record of 10. There may be no one who has put together a more complete package of racing skills than Toni.
The tattoo I have in the back is, for me, is the most important. Translated in Italian, it says speed, mud, and glory. This is what means for me motocross. You know, okay, you need to be fast, so speed is the key. Mud, it can be part of our racing ground, you know, sometimes, but it's also a dirty part on injuries, on bad days, and this and that. And then you have glory, which is Gloria, and it's what everybody expects to do. You know, everybody wants to win, so the glory has to be always there, you know, on your mind.
Say it in Italian.
Velocità, fango e gloria. This one is also in Latin. It says, learn to suffer if you want to win.
Were you born this way, with this chiseled, shredded?
I don't know, no, not born. You know, you need to work for it, and you need to also eat good. But for this, we are in advantage in Italy because, you know, the Mediterranean food is always quite good diet for a sportman.
Is the cross always with you?
Yeah, always. I've been always really, you know, Catholic. To know that somebody is there watching for you on this difficult sport is really, you know, a key, you know, to believe in something. I try to put it on my skin when sometimes I lose this, you know, while riding. So I try to have one on my body. So this is actually my second tattoo. It says 222 in Roman letters. It comes because of myself coming to Rome, and I get good results, you know, coming here. So I say, okay, I put this on Roman letters to pay some, you know, gratitude, you know, to the city. When you're walking through the city, you get, you know, chicken skin, you know, just to remember what was happening on this city. You know, a lot of blood have been on that ground. It's really similar to motocross. You are on the track and you're feeling a little bit like one gladiator, you know, trying to win and to kill, you know, your opponents.
Cairoli slides his way into the lead, and he takes another foxhole shot. The aging 9-time champ, dare we say, 34 years old.
I don't want to be cocky or arrogant, but I know the way I was riding before I got injured, he wouldn't have stayed with me.
It's part of the game, also injury, because we are riding on a level which you cannot really commit any mistake. For a rider, I know that it's difficult to be 100% for such a long season, so maybe even Jeffrey was not able to repeat such a great season of last year.
While some would put an asterisk next to Cairoli's 88th Grand Prix win, because of the absence of Jeffrey, Cairoli may be the most resilient champion of all time. At Valkenswaard in 2019, Toni had been scheduled to compete in 250 World Championship rounds in his career and had missed just 14 because of injuries.
I think Jeffrey still can learn something from a guy like Toni. He has a perfect balance between enjoying the life and be a racer. He does the work and then he walks off and then he goes on a boat with his friends, or he goes for dinner with minimum 10 people because he wants to have friends around him. If Other people have their best day. Nutrition was right and the training was right and they didn't do anything else in their whole life besides just thinking about the next race. You can beat Toni. But 5 years later, this guy is still winning racing and the other one is already burned out. There he surprised many of us.
In motocross, you will have to suffer longer and at greater depths than your competition in order to succeed. But often a racer's greatest mistake is unending sacrifice without a purpose beyond themselves. Next time.
We want to win with our country. We want to put our flag on the podium. Especially, for me that I'm super proud Italian.
Arco is really special because it's the closest GP to Slovenia. I don't care about the other guys, and I know that I'm ready to show everyone what I can do and how fast I can be.
Geiser leads again, and Cairoli is going to fight back immediately. Oh!